Unhealthy weight gains, and increased drinking. As you probably know by now, one of my go tos is the American Psychological Association's Stress in America polls and reports. APA's latest survey of U.S. adults, conducted in late February 2021 by the Harris poll, shows that a majority of adults, 61%, experienced undesired weight changes, weight gain or loss, since the pandemic started, with 42% reporting that they gained more weight than they intended. Of those, they gained an average of 29 pounds. The median amount was 15 pounds, and 10% said they gained more than 50 pounds. And the weight gain was across the generations and the sexes. 39% of men gained an average of 37 pounds. 45% of women gained 22 pounds. 52% of Generation Z gained 28 pounds. Millennials topped the list at 41% weight gain for 48% of the generation. 41% of Xers gained 21 pounds. 37 of boomers gained 16 pounds. And those over 76-year-olds reported that they gained weight in the case of 25% of them. For the 18% of Americans who said they lost more weight than they wanted to, the average amount of weight loss was 26 pounds. Adults also reported unwanted changes in sleep and increased alcohol consumption. 2 and 3, 67%, said they've been sleeping more or less during the pandemic. Nearly 1 in 4 adults reported drinking more alcohol to cope with their stress. We've been concerned throughout the pandemic about the level of prolonged stress, exacerbated by the grief, trauma, and isolation that Americans are experiencing. This survey reveals a secondary crisis that is likely to have persistent, serious mental and physical health consequences for years to come, said Arthur Evans, the PhD and APA's chief executive officer. Health and policy leaders must come together quickly to provide additional behavioral health support as part of any national recovery plan. The pandemic has taken a particularly heavy toll on parents of kids under 18, while slightly more than 3 in 10 reported that their mental health has worsened compared with before the pandemic. Nearly half of mothers who still have kids at home for remote learning, that's 47%, reported their mental health was worsened. 30% of fathers who still have children home said the same. Parents were more likely than those without kids to have received treatment from a mental health professional, 32% versus 12%, and to have been diagnosed with a mental health disorder since the pandemic began, 24 versus 9%. More than half of fathers reported gaining weight. Nearly half said they're drinking more alcohol to cope with stress. Most alarming is that those people that we have deemed as essential workers were more than twice as likely as adults who are not essential workers to have received treatment from a mental health professional during the pandemic and to have been diagnosed with a mental health disorder. Now, we've got to talk about this because this is serious. It's a report that every supermarket CEO and HR head needs to read before they even think about pulling back hazard pay, or worse, closing stores in areas that are mandating hazard pay or $15 an hour pay increases. We must take care of each other.